Hey everyone, Wyduck here again, this time with a set of replays from the WCS, Season 2 Europe Group Playoff Edition. And this time, for this best of 3, we're spawning here on Newkirk Precinct. In the bottom left, spawning as the Red Terran, representing Incredible Miracle, we have MVP. And MVP's opponents, one of the favorite players from Europe, spawning as the Blue Protoss, and in the bottom right, we've got Grubby. Now going into this matchup, we have to remember that MVP did win WCS Season 1 Europe. So MVP is technically the defending champion. So MVP is probably a really big favorite in this matchup. Not just because he's a Korean player, but because he actually won the European Season 1. And that's very difficult. A lot of players, even though it might not be Korea, it's still very difficult to win the Europe edition or the American edition. So the fact that MVP did win Season 1 gives him a huge boost, going into this matchup. Now, what might also affect MVP's play is actually the fact that when he was playing this set of games, was the fact that he was a little bit tired and possibly jet lagged as he just flew in a few days ahead, a few days before this matchup. So that might affect his play. We'll have to see after the outcome of this game. We might not know for sure, but if you know what it's like to be jet lagged, it's not very fun. So we'll have to see who's going to come out on top. Now, MVP is opening up with a barracks first, very safe standard build. And Grubby is going for gateway, no Nexus first shenanigans. Now, I do like the fact that Grubby did put the pylon over to the far right side of his base. Now, it might have been better to put it on the left side of his base, just in case there was a drop coming in. But still, I like the fact that he's putting pylons far away from his main mineral line. Now, Grubby is going to be able to scout out MVP's base. Actually getting an early reactor on that barracks with no other building structures. That's very interesting. Generally, Terrans try to build that reactor and get that timing so the factory can plop down right away, but we don't have that here. Now, MVP is going to be scouting out Grubby's base as well, able to see these buildings. Now, I talked about that pylon placement earlier. MVP hasn't seen this pylon, so it might make MVP think there's a pylon somewhere else on the map, because there is one pylon missing from all these buildings. He might think there might be a sort of hidden tech pylon, maybe with a Stargate or a Templar archives coming inbound. So he's actually sending SG around the north side of the map, so maybe MVP is fooled into thinking there is a proxy pylon somewhere, so he's looking around. So this is a very good play by Grubby, I think. Now, Grubby's Nexus is half done. The Mothership Core is out, and we'll be able to deflect incoming attacks, at least in the next few moments. We do have 2 Reapers coming, but Newkirk Precinct is not very good for Reapers because you have to jump into the natural before you can jump into the main. And with this Mothership Core here, these Reapers are not going to have a very good access point into the main base. And now with that Stalker out, that's going to virtually stop all those Reapers from harassing Grubby. Now, Grubby is getting the robotics facility as well as a forge on the far right side of his map. And I love this placement again, because if MVP scans later on in the game and he scans the Nexus, he won't be able to see these structures. So you can never doubt how important it is. Just from a little play like this is very important. If you can deny your opponents the scouting ability to know what kind of tech structures you have, it gives you a huge edge. But we do have a small squad of Marines that are coming across the map. They're going to join these 2 Reapers here. Now, remember, these Marines don't have combat shields. They don't have stim. It's not even started yet. The tech lab is almost done, so I suspect stim will be starting very soon. But the point is that this timing attack is going to be with weak Marines. And Grubby doesn't have a very big army. He only has 1 sentry, 1 stalker, and a Mothership Core. And you can barely consider a Mothership Core an army unit, and it looks like MVP is going to come in here. He's coming up the ramp. Now, Grubby has been able to spot this, but the sentry is going to go down immediately. The Stalker is taking a lot of fire, and now the Nexus Cannon goes down, and that is going to deter any further push, I think, from Grubby. From MVP, because Grubby, by putting down that Nexus Cannon can 3-shot any of these units very easily. So just by running those units up this ramp, one, MVP does not know what is up beyond this ramp, and two, even if he makes it there, he'll lose 1 or 2 units just from that cannon. So great play by Grubby. Now it's very hard for MVP to be aggressive here. He's gonna jump up here. Great play by MVP, able to spot that lone sentry, so he knows there's not that much of a force up here. And he's going to be harassing the mineral lines here. Able to pick off a probe. Can never doubt the importance of that. Now, did MVP, was he able to scout the right side of this tech structure area? Well, it doesn't seem to matter here. All these probes are under attack. We've got lots of Hellions in here. This looks really bad for Grubby. A lot of the probes are getting chewed up. They're lined up for those Hellion shots. And now it looks like MVP's in a great position. He's able to destroy 18 probes in a span of a few minutes. We do have an Immortal here with a Warp Prism and some more Zealots warping in to try and deflect this attack, but we've got the Marines on the right side. We've got the Hellions in the backside, harassing all these Zealots and probes. And Hellions are very good against Zealots, but they're actually focusing down on the probes instead. The Immortals are getting their free shots on too. This Immortal has 5 kills, but unfortunately, I think Grubby is in a very bad position. He's down by 22 to supply to his Terran opponent. MVP is still microing these Hellions, able to destroy 7 more probes. And now he's still picking off probes from that natural. The Nexus Cannon is going to go down. These Hellions will be forfeit. So this attack will be deflected after losing so many units, down by 27 supply. And now Grubby is going to go for broke. He's going to bring his 2 Immortals in that Warp Prism. But we've got a lot of Marines here. They're slightly out of position, able to land in the main, focusing down on that Marauder. And now here comes the offensive Warping with the Zealots behind this incoming attack. The SCVs have been pulled off the line to provide some additional health and some shielding. But Grubby is going to have to tap out. So MVP, it doesn't look like fatigue or jet lag has affected him, at least in this game 1. We'll have to see in game 2 who can come out on top.